Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, we have an epic trailer that World of Warships Legends just released. I was out of town for work and I got a bunch of notifications from you guys. Oh boy, this trailer is jam-packed. Right off the bat, we can see, what is that? Well, that is the Venezia. But pay attention to this list of ships here. I think it is another clue that a few viewers and commenters got. But here we are, the pride of this update, at least for me anyway, the Venezia. The PC Tier 10, which of course will be legendary as indicated on the screen there in our game. 15 rounds of SAP coming at you every game. That ship is sure to be disgusting. But here you'll notice, why are the ships mismatched? Well, I think we are getting asymmetric battles. So Miguel here, who is a viewer, kind of put this in the comments and I read it, and I think that he is correct in that regard. But also something that we actually just missed here. What number is that? What guns are those? Ship 223, which is a good caliber for my gun guys, but pay attention to that because I believe that is going to be the campaign ship. But on top of that, let's go ahead and skip to the end here. I don't want to release all of Robin's video here. Make sure you guys go over to the World of Warships Legends YouTube page and give that a watch and a view. But I believe there are more ships coming, as you guys kind of saw it briefly there. I don't know if this is a different camo for certain ships. I haven't had enough time. I just got off work to investigate these. So if anyone knows who or what these are, they might just be different camos, but it could be an entire new line. Make sure you guys go ahead and type that in the comments below. So we can see it looks like a triple barrel there. It might just be the camos for the Italian ships, but who knows? Those kind of look rather Italian. So I think those are just the camos at first glance, but I could be wrong on that. But let's go ahead and look at the Venezia on the World of Warships Legends PC Wiki. And of course, she will hopefully be on our Wiki website soon. Shout out to Dakeo and a few of the others who have put that website together. But we have the 203mm guns here with a 21-second reload. I went over this in my other Italian cruiser video, which of course I knew was not going to be the campaign ship. I just put that in the clickbait to piss off all of the low IQ Facebook dwellers. So I'm sure I'm going to get like one comment like, "See, bro, you were wrong, dude. I told you." But anyway, this ship is sure to be absolutely nasty. But the reason I said that point I was making is I believe that ship, that Tier 6, probably in our game, I forget what the name of that cruiser was, is going to be on the line of the Venezia for the Bureau, if it is a Bureau. So keep an eye out for that. I think I called that in the video, but 203mm guns with 15 of those guns with a 21-second reload for that SAP. A little bit of a longer reload like we mentioned in that other video, but the damage output you are going to be able to put on destroyers is going to be absolutely massive. This ship is going to be a lot of fun. 51,800 HP, 13.5 kilometer range on your torpedoes. They, of course, are the floating Italian sea mines, but basically just fire and forget. You can throw them out with a pretty... It says a 71-second reload time. It may be that on Legends. It'll probably be a little bit more if I had to guess. However, like I said, just fire and forget. You have a good reload time on them. And, you know, actually, I think in my Brindisi video, we blind torped a Shima. So you never know, you know, what you're going to hit. 36.6 top, 36.6 knot top speed there. And I think with our commanders, we're going to be able to get that maybe even up to 40, 42 with a full speed and agile build. And as I've said before, the Italians and maybe the French are really the only ships I would recommend an agile build, but I do believe that agile defensive speed builds work for these ships because of how maneuverable and, of course, with the rolling smoke that this ship does get. Torpedo tubes there, we saw 13,900 max damage. So let's go over the pros and cons, and then we're going to look at another ship. 15 203mm guns Venezia broadside can be devastating. We just need the accuracy. Hopefully she's accurate. Excellent ballistics, high shell velocity, and flat arcs, so easy to aim. Incredible handling. Exhaust smoke generator. Good continuous damage output of her anti-aircraft guns. Extended above the waterline belt. And this is an important fact for you guys to kind of keep in mind. While the Italian cruisers, and even battleships are rather weak when they are broadside, as most ships should be, when you slightly angle them, that belt becomes a quick deterrent for battleships aiming waterline. And what we mean by that is when you angle, that belt increases, and I believe you can even bounce Yamato shells. I think it's like 100 or 120mm belt. I don't know the exact characteristics just yet, and of course, if Wargaming gives her to me day one, I will go over that. But basically, you just want to make sure you can angle. Her bow armor, I'm guessing, is going to be 25 or less, probably not 27. But anyway, armed with torpedoes with long range and low detectability, very good turret angles. So a lot of cons, or a lot of pros, but also it looks like a lot of cons. Poor concealment, horrible smoke firing penalty, very poor reload. The placement of our turrets only allow for 2 or 5 turrets when bow in. You don't really ever want to be bow in these ships for most engagements, but we'll talk about that later. Poorly armored turrets, which can be disabled, destroyed often. Sure. Despite good AA, the performance is impaired by poor range. Okay, SAP shells lose a lot of effectiveness if they cannot penetrate. And this is something, oh man, excuse me, I've got the burps here. SAP shells lose a lot of effectiveness if they cannot penetrate or hit saturated areas. I think there is a slight miscalculation. I don't even want to call it a bug because SAP definitely works. I just feel like it oversaturates too quickly. Now, of course, any area of a ship can be fully saturated with the exception of the overpen 10% damage to certain parts of a ship. However, I think it happens too quickly with SAP. But regardless, we'll learn more about that, and we'll definitely test her out if we feel like her SAP is not as, effective as it should be. Lacks utility, and this is definitely a huge problem. Your job in a cruiser is, you're number one, a jack of all trades, but your job is really to hunt down destroyers, and you can do that with your speed. However, you need to get into a position to do that, and without radar and hydro, you're not going to be doing that until late game, or getting out on a flank when Shimas try to sail around the outside. But that is going to be my number one thing that I want to do, is dev strike Shimikazes with this ship. All right, so let's go ahead and review the Lucian here, the Pan-Asian Tier 10 destroyer from 1949 through 1956. A scientific and technical support program was in effect between the USSR and PRC. Under this program, among other things, the Soviets shared the blueprints of a promising warship with China. In particular, China received technical documentation on a Project 41 destroyer. While China did not build any of the ships of this project in its original form between 1968 and 87, they built 15 051 class, Luda class missile destroyers that were based on the Soviet Project 41. So yeah, a Tier 10 destroyer that I think will probably be Tier 8 on our game, maybe Legendary Tier, I don't know. So that is, I'm going to speculate on that it's going to be our Tier 8 campaign. But anyway, 130 millimeter guns with a gnarly reload of 1.7 seconds. You don't really want to be speccing into reload because it's not, I think Flamu or somebody investigated the server tick rate, and the number of shots was the same even with a reload build. So something for you guys to keep in mind, and something we could potentially investigate as well. Her health is pretty low for even a Tier 8 at 20,500. So maybe think about throwing Sims on there on a build if you are going out of your way to gun other destroyers, which is definitely your responsibility, and with these guns you could probably do so. However, if you're not putting the ship in right spots with team support, you'll probably be getting gunned down depending on what the ship you're going against. The torpedoes, which I believe are deep water, I'm 99.9% sure they are deep water, are pretty nasty. 2x5 here with a 125 second reload and a max payload of 17,933. with a 65 knot speed and an 11 kilometer range there. So those deep water torpedoes sneak up on you. They usually have good concealment or surface detectability. When I say good, I mean like lower, because that's the time you have to react basically. And with the speed of those, they're difficult to react to. I haven't seen it here, but maneuverability, 36 knot top speed, 700 turning circle, and a 4.6 rudder. So not the best maneuverability, but not the worst either. You got a kind of, sort of a tight turning circle, so you can manage that. Surface detectability, you shouldn't really use this because our concealment ranges they're pretty broken in Legends, so not really something to pay attention to. But here is kind of the full rundown, and I will link this in the video. But let's go and review her pros and cons. Extremely high rate of fire, above average HE, and extremely good AP damage per minute values. Above average AP penetration values, so make sure you are switching on broadside targets. Excellent ballistics at all ranges. 360-degree turrets. This is basically a Friesland on steroids. Stealthy torpedoes, excellent concealment. 5.5 kilometer hydroacoustic search. high levels of HP restoration. So if they give her all of her utility, you have to remember on console, we only have the D-pad. On Xbox, well, and the worst console too, but so we will only have the option for 3 things, something for you guys to keep in mind. So you could get all of those, I think. However, we have to have the left D-pad there for our repair party, so something to keep in mind. Cons: low alpha damage, long torpedo reload, mediocre AA, ASW armor with low damage and stagger and drop pattern. I don't think you guys have to worry about this. I'm pretty sure this is for subs, but slow top speed and sluggish maneuverability. So yeah, slow top speed. I think where they're talking about maneuverability is the rudder, because 700 is not really a big turning circle. No smoke generator or engine boost, long repair party duration, time, and cooldown time. So make sure you don't get caught out in the open, and make sure that you are able to deal with the targets if you decide to gun them down. But that is what the 2 ships, at least, that we can see in this trailer image here. And like I said, I think there's a few others. So if you guys spot those, let me know. If you liked this video, give it a like. I'm excited for this update. It looks very promising. Like I said, I hope Wargaming gives me both of these ships day 1. I will try and get not only a Venezia video out right away, but this one as well. I'm kind of excited for both of these ships. I'm glad it's a destroyer and not just another Japanese battlecruiser or German brawling battleship. But that's just the plights of a veteran playing this game for almost 5 years now. So I love you guys. You guys have a fantastic evening. I'm going to hit the gym and then maybe do another video. I don't know. You guys will see tomorrow. So take it easy, guys. Love you guys. I'm out. Peace.